Hey, I'll see you on tour in Las Vegas, Chicago, and Grand Rapids. In Chicago, it's stand-up and a live panel show. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to jimmydore.com. So guess what? I found this video of Trump saying that one side of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict doesn't want a deal. What side do you think that is? The answer just may surprise you. Or will it? Here we go.
It just never ends. But the key is a lasting peace. If we have a lasting peace, first thing you have to ask, do they both want to make it? I have a real question as to whether or not both sides wants to make it. I have a real question as to one side in particular, whether or not they want to make it. Well, I don't want to say that right now. I think one side actually would like a deal, and I think the other one maybe doesn't want a deal, to be honest. I don't want to say it. No, look, we show our cards too much in the I wrote The Art of the Deal. We show our cards too much. So if I get into that, I don't want to say this and that, and then they'll come and they'll say, well, Trump is biased one way or the other. I think there's a chance that you could probably make a deal if you had a real deal maker, if you had somebody that knew what he or she was doing. In my opinion, if Israel wants to make a deal, I think a deal could be made. I think a lot is going to do with Israel, and look, it's going to have to do with both sides, but a lot will have to do with Israel and whether or not Israel wants to make the deal.
So why does Trump sound like the most reasonable candidate for president on this issue right now? I mean, it's a low bar, but he just vaunted over it by virtue of not saying the lockstep Zionist horseshit that even RFK Jr. says. So this is what I've been saying about Trump. His flex is to find a deal. It's like, let's find a deal. And he's saying one side doesn't want that deal. Which side do you think that is? Well, here he's going to reveal it here.
He wanted to make a deal more than Netanyahu. And I will be honest, I had a great meeting with him, Abbas, right? I had a great meeting with him. And we spent a lot of time together, talked about many things. And it was almost like a father. I mean, he was so nice. Couldn't have been nicer. And after meeting with Bibi for 3 minutes, I looked at him and said, you don't want to make a deal, do you? And he said, well, and the fact is, I don't think Bibi ever wanted to make a deal.
Why?
I thought the Palestinians were impossible, that the Israelis would do anything to make peace and a deal. I found that not to be true.
Whoa. Whoa. So I know Trump is rah-rah Israel on the campaign trail. I think it's to get all the money from Sheldon Adelson into his campaign coffers because it looked like he wants to make a deal. He had a father-son relationship with the PLO leader. He said he was the nicest guy in the world. After 3 minutes of talking with Bibi, he says, Bibi, you don't want a deal, do you? So this is a totally different story than I've ever heard before. And I want to know when that second part was recorded because that's so shockingly honest. I think it was leaked to make Trump look bad. Was that's probably, they thought it would do damage to him. No kidding. With his Jewish donors. And, you know, this also confirmed Trump is right about Bibi. Because, you know here's who also confirmed that what Trump just said about Bibi is also correct. You know who confirmed it? Bibi Netanyahu himself confirmed it. When he openly said with his own mouth that we must support Hamas to prevent a two-state solution. He said that. Bibi doesn't want to make a deal. What Bibi wants is for the staff to dry clean about 8 giant suitcases full of his family's dirty laundry every time he visits the White House. By the way, that's true. Did you know that? That's how weird Benjamin Netanyahu is. He brings suitcases full of dirty laundry and has the people at the White House do his dirty laundry for him. That's not just a metaphor. This is literally what he and his wife are known for when they come to visit the Capitol. Give it a Google. So I know it's tough to believe that Bibi Netanyahu, a guy named after the smallest caliber of ammunition, wants to continue a war. But he does. Because they don't want a deal. They've always wanted control of the West Bank and Gaza. They want the Palestinians out of there. They want them in Jordan. They want them in Egypt. They want them anywhere but where they are. So this is stunning. To me, it's stunning. Trump admitting that he talked to Benjamin Netanyahu, and after 3 minutes, he says, "You don't want a deal, do you?" And Netanyahu said, Is that not stunning to you, Steph?
It's remarkable.
It's remarkable. How about you? What's your name?
Misha.
Misha? Misha says yes, in a very soft voice so it won't be picked up by the microphone. Nobody knows.
I mean, yeah, it is shocking because, yes, they do think that this would be bad for Trump. But I think this is
I think that got
shocking
leaked.
for us to hear.
I think that got leaked because whoever leaked that part thought it would be. Here, let me play it again. Not the first.
It just never ends.
So the first part, he says, "I'm ready to make a deal, but one side's got to. Israel's got to want a deal."
I have a real question as to one side in particular, whether or not they want to make it. Well, I don't want to say that right now. I think one side actually would like a deal. I think the other one maybe doesn't want a deal. To be honest, I don't want to say no. Look, we show our cards too much in the deal. I wrote the art of the deal. We show our cards too much. So if I get into that, I don't want to say this and that, and then they'll come and they'll say, "Well, Trump is biased one way or the other." I think there's a chance that you could probably make a deal if you had a real deal. If you had somebody that knew what he or she was doing. In my opinion, if Israel wants to make a deal,
if Israel wants to make a deal, there'll be a deal.
Is going to do with Israel.
So he doesn't say if
look, it's going to have to do with
Palestinians
both
want to
sides,
make a
but
deal.
a lot will have to do with Israel and whether or not Israel wants to make the deal.
I thought he wanted to make a deal more than Netanyahu.
So he's talking about Abbas. He said, "I think he wanted to make a deal more than Netanyahu." So this part was obviously it seems to me it was serendipitously or secretively recorded. And then they leaked it to try to hurt Trump, to do damage on him. Let's listen to it again.
And I will be honest, I had a great meeting with him, Abbas, right? I had a great meeting with him. And we spent a lot of time together, talked about many things. And it was almost like a father. I mean, he was so nice. Couldn't have been nicer. And after meeting with Bibi for 3 minutes, I looked at him and said, "You don't want to make a deal, do you?" And he said, "Well, and the fact is, I don't think Bibi ever wanted to make a deal.
Why?
I thought the Palestinians were impossible, that the Israelis would do anything to make peace and a deal. I found that not to be true."
So I would love to know where that recording's from. Did he know he was being recorded when he said that? I don't know. It seems contrary to every other thing he said publicly. So Jake Shields says Trump posted a letter he received from the Palestinian president before his meeting with Netanyahu. So Trump's supposed to meet with Netanyahu, I believe, on Friday. And you want to see what he released? So Jake Shields, who's a MAGA guy, who's also pro-Palestinian, and he constantly says he will do anything for Israel, but this definitely comes across as an FU. So you want to see what the FU? He says, "Looking forward to seeing Bibi Netanyahu on Friday, and even more forward to achieving peace in the Middle East." So Trump wants peace. You know Netanyahu doesn't. They want to wipe out the Palestinians and take over the West Bank and Gaza. And so this is a letter, and here's how Trump, "Mahmoud, so nice. Thank you. Everything will be good." So this is a letter Your Excellency is a great concern that I've received news later watched footage of your attempt. So this is a letter he got from the head of the PLO. And he releases it At the same side saying, looking forward to talking with Bibi. So it sounds to me like Donald Trump saying, hey, guess what? We're going to get a peace deal, you homicidal maniac. That's what it seems like. And of course, Donald Trump is a big salesman and he knows how to influence the media cycle. And it seems like all that stuff he's been saying, which is ultra pro-Israeli, was one, to get donations, and two, so then he could go in and make a deal. Because if you go in, if you're saying all these things that are pro-Palestinian, and then you make a deal that's somehow fair to the Palestinians, people will say, oh, you're a Palestinian lover. So he's going, to me, this is what it seems like to me. He's going over the top in his rhetoric, but he really wants to make a deal. What the hell do you call this? Sounds to me, that sounds like Trump wants to make a deal. Sounds like Trump wants to end this war. Biden has no interest in ending it. He doesn't care. This is what it seems like. And it seems like he's putting pressure on Bibi. Bibi's very unpopular in Israel, by the way. Don't forget that. They almost kicked him out of office before. It was like he needed this war to hang on to power. Looking forward to seeing you, Bibi, and even more forward to achieving peace in the Middle East. A small regret is slouching in the dentist's office thinking, I should have brushed and flossed better. A big health regret is listening to your doctor and thinking, I should have paid attention to nutrition when I was younger. But health today, and when it matters most, is why we here at the Jimmy Dore Show take Field of Greens. Field of Greens is unlike any fruit and vegetable or green product. Field of Greens isn't watered down extracts. Field of Greens is organic superfood. It's whole fruits and vegetables. Each fruit and vegetable was selected by doctors to support vital bodily functions like heart, liver, kidneys, metabolism, and your immune system. And only Field of Greens is backed by Better Health Promise. At your next checkup, your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back. Don't look back and say, I should have paid attention to nutrition when I was younger. Field of Greens is a key to better health today and when it matters most. Let's get you started with 15% off and free shipping. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use the promo code Jimmy. That's right. That's promo code Jimmy at fieldofgreens.com. Hey, I'll see you on tour in Las Vegas, Chicago, and Grand Rapids. In Chicago, it's stand-up and a live panel show. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to jimmydore.com.